Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love, and this week I have an email from a guy who says, I've been a people pleaser my entire life, especially with women. I have these thoughts that if I don't spoil them, then they will leave me. Yes, that is actually one of the characteristics of a people pleaser, and it actually starts in childhood. So I'm going to quote now a site called whatiscodependency.com. And it says, the problem is that for many of us, our pleasing is more than kindness. It's our personality style. Some children decide that accommodating their parents' wishes is the safest way to survive in a world of powerful adults and the best way to win their parents' acceptance and love. They try to be good and not make waves. Good means what parents want. Their parents may have had high expectations, being critical, had rigid rules, withheld love or approval, or punished them for mistakes, dissent, or showing anger. So, as you can see, this starts in childhood. You want to please your parents, and then it continues on into adulthood. Reading on, he says, I want to try and be like those alpha males, but I don't want to lose the integrity of being nice and respectful to them as well. Good, that's an important quality, although alpha males aren't necessarily disrespectful, but I'll clear that up in a second. Carrying on, I wanted to try and learn how to be a pickup artist by being a jerk to women I like. So now I noticed that twice you've used the phrases, I wanted to try. So you either do or you don't. To quote Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. Not just with this issue going on with women and trying to please them, but with everything. So it's just interesting that in two sentences, one after the other, you said, I want to try. No, you have to be more emphatic, more assertive, which people pleasers aren't, which is why you're using I wanted to try. You have to say, I want to. Even though what you say you want to try to do, I don't suggest, because you want to treat women that you like as a jerk. So think about, does that make sense? I like you, so I'm going to treat you like a jerk. Are you being authentic? Are you being your real self? And do you think that women with self-esteem and confidence are going to put up with that, or are going to be with you for very long if you're a jerk to them? Don't believe the hype. Okay. He also said, unfortunately, it got me into some serious trouble at work. And that's what happens when you're not yourself and you try to do something which is not you. And I'm actually glad that it got you into trouble, because you learned your lesson and now you won't do it again. Sometimes you have to put your finger on the fire to burn your finger and find out that you shouldn't be doing that. He says, we're always told to be a jerk to get hot women. Well, that's a miscommunication. It's not about being a jerk, it's about being an alpha male. And a lot of times, the actions that alpha males take are interpreted as being jerks, but they're not. They're just being alpha men. So you need to know the difference. Alpha males, they go for what they want, they're honest, they say what's on their mind, they don't play games, they don't pussyfoot around. And a lot of people interpret that as being a jerk. And no, they're just being real. And so he goes on to say, what do you think of the player philosophy? I think he means the pickup artist philosophy that he mentioned earlier. So I think there are some good things to be learned from the pickup artist philosophy, because a lot of guys have approach anxiety, so it helps you with that. But I also think a lot of the things they teach are antagonistic and misogynistic, and I will actually be doing a podcast on that at some point in the future. But your main problem is that you're a people pleaser, so you need to overcome that, and then I think you'll have a lot more success with women instead of thinking you need to be a jerk. And no longer being a people pleaser means that you understand your self-worth and that it doesn't depend on approval from others. So it has to come from yourself first, and it doesn't matter what anyone else around you says. You also have to realize that you will never be able to please everyone, and you'll just make yourself sick trying to do it. You'll run yourself ragged saying yes to everything. So don't try to make everyone happy. You're not Disneyland. Know that you can't control what others think. They're going to think whatever they want regardless. You can't control others' thinking. You can only influence it. And also realize that people won't notice or care as much as you think. There was a quote that said, "We wouldn't be so concerned what others thought of us if we knew how rarely they thought of us." Which is true, because everyone is busy worrying about themselves, thinking about themselves. I mean, really, think about how often do you really think about other people. So don't worry, everyone is busy with their own lives. And also you have to be more assertive. Right now you're probably being passive, and have healthy boundaries. And that would be the way to stop people pleasing. And I got those tips from a site called healthyplace.com. So if you have any questions or comments about this podcast, if you would like to contact me for private coaching, you can reach me at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please be sure to rate it and leave a review. And finally, until next time, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.